you ever thought about the amount of concrete in our world today? We use it in almost every type of building structure, whether it be for roadways, highways, or even just simple buildings. First of all, today we are going to cover a brief history of concrete, how concrete is created, and the different types of concrete, and what each is used for. Personally, I took a class last semester over concrete materials, so I am very knowledgeable on the subject. Starting with the history of concrete. It dates back to the Egyptian pyramids. They actually used mud and straw as a mixture to create bricks while using limestone and gypsum to create the mortar and making the pyramids together. Additionally, the Romans actually created the Roman Colosseum with concrete that looks a lot like the stuff that we use today. Back in 1824, Portland concrete was created. Portland cement was invented by Joseph Adsbin. He actually was a great inventor because Portland cement is a vital ingredient in the stuff that we use today. In creating concrete, after talking about history, the required components are Portland cement, water, and fine and coarse aggregate. Now, fine and coarse aggregate. Fine aggregate is something such as sand. It's just a small mineral that kind of combines the Portland cement. And the coarse aggregate is actually crushed rocks that actually add strength to the project. Now, the Portland cement and water are used to create a paste. And with that paste, there's actually a water-cement ratio. The water-cement ratio actually delegates how much strength is going to be in your concrete. It always varies off of what type of Portland cement that you're using. You then mix that paste with the aggregates, and the aggregates combine together to make it a strengthful product. How that happens is hydration occurs. Hydration is a chemical process, and it's where the nodes on the aggregate itself just combine together with the Portland cement and water to just bind each other together. After you have that, you then pour your concrete whatever your project that you're doing, whether it be a sidewalk or a roadway or whatever, and you have to allow it a curing time or a resting time. Normally it takes about 28 days on average with a normal type of concrete. Also, temperature is a big factor. Let's say that you're doing a project in December. You're going to need to use something like heating blankets over the concrete to ensure that the strength isn't compromised due to the cold weather. Additionally, there are compression tests done by ASHRAE standards. Those are normally used for large projects, so you're not going to do a compression test for something on your home, but for large-scale projects, you are required to do those compression tests on the concrete to make sure nothing fails. And after we've talked about a history of concrete and how it's actually made, let's go into the different types of concrete. Now, type 1 is a general household concrete that you can buy anywhere, Menards or Lowe's or whatever your local hardware store is. Like I said, just a general concrete. Type 2 is the same concrete, and you can get it pretty much anywhere, but it resists water a lot more, so you're going to use it in maybe on the underground where it's susceptible to groundwater. Type 3 is a high early strength concrete, normally used for potholes, so when they have to pour and go as fast as they can because people are going to be driving over it soon, they normally use that type 3 concrete. Type 4, it doesn't generate as much heat, and they actually had to use it on the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam has so much structural steel in it and rebar for reinforcement that the different types of concrete create a lot of heat, and that was melting the reinforcement. So they had to use this type 4 concrete because it doesn't have as much heat to it. Also, then we go into type 5, which is a highly resistant to sulfates in water. It's a lot like type 2, but it's more on like your big scale projects such as the Golden Gate Bridge, or anything like that, large bodies of water. So now we've discussed a brief history of concrete, how concrete is created, and the different types of concrete. I hope that this knowledge will help you with your projects in the future, and you can use it for any vast amount of reasons. Thank you for your time.